the dark water. It is an amazing journey. Seeing our children, seeing my children. My youngest daughter will be a paddler in dark water. This is her first time as the first paddler out. And so to do that at night, it's an amazing thing. It's a very proud moment for me. And I just am trying to make sure every scenario is taken care of.
Paddles up. On you, Eva. On the right. Going. Get off that ball.
Most of these times on journeys, when we cross, we usually have the bioluminescent effect. And so when your paddle hits the water, it explodes with light. So each time all your paddles hit the water, that whole side of the boat lights up. And any sea animal that's in the water that's wanting to see what you're like, they go shooting by and you see it light up in the water. You hear stuff splash out of the water, big stuff splash out of the water at night. Keep paddling. And our journey is one that really helps us as a community, as a tribal group, remember who we are and remember our ancestors. It's the most dangerous time, it's the most spiritual time. Aku muptmai pishke ep, utashka alish, shupupushka alish. Greetings in my language and my name, my traditional name, meaning memories.
I will say the canoe medicine, because that's how we talk about it, was put to sleep by one of our ancestors around 1834 because the mission system had really destroyed that culture.
Really, the definition of Tomol is the house of the sea. That's how we look at it. This is our place. This is where it takes care of us and gets us one village to the other, brings all our food in. You know, if you had a Tomol in your village, you were a well-off village.
It was the 1850s when the last Tomols were being manufactured. And because of Fernando Librado, who was interviewed by John Harrington, we know how they were made.
They would gather redwood, driftwood on the beaches and they would cut them into planks. And then they would drill holes into them where they would then thatch them with cordage. And then they would caulk all the holes in with asphaltum.
You can tell who built a Tomol by the size of the hand. This is the identity of the Tomol builder from village to village. I mean, just probably had huge hands. My Tomol would have been small, I think. We're blessed in '76 to have a Tomol built by Peter Howarth and the reestablishment of the Brotherhood of Tomol, and them actually taking that boat out to the islands and paddling around the islands. That was a wonderful feature, but still, it was not complete.
I've always known that I was Chumash, but I never really embraced it. Didn't really have a sense of family, just feeling really scattered. But I've always been really connected to the ocean. I went to the Coastal Band Chumash Nation Council meeting, and I was reluctant to do that because I felt nervous. And they welcomed me with open arms and told me about the paddle,
which is always a scheduled annual channel crossing from Channel Islands Harbor to Scorpion Harbor on Santa Cruz Island, which as the crow flies is 20 miles.
It's been a little over 150 years, and we restarted the tradition of crossing in '01.
Today, our paddle practice is called a village hop. So we started at the Bacara, which is our village of Helapunice, to Ledbetter, which is our village of Siuxton.
Santa Barbara Channel is known as being very dangerous. And if all of these other kind of power boats struggle in this channel, a canoe will struggle in this channel.
For me, because I'm new to all of this, you can feel the sense of urgency just trying to get from one thing to the next, like trying to make it through the surf. Now you're out of the surf, and now you're in the open ocean, and you're wanting to stay positioned so that the swells don't capsize and start coming over the side of the Tomol.
Several years ago, we had to worry about the shipping lanes, but the biggest issues we've been having is climatic change. We have definitely noticed the climatic change over the last 5 years, and so we can't cross over without getting caught up with two different confluences and currents coming up through the channel. 4 years ago, I believe, we got actually swamped. Just a huge wave came over the boat, and she was done. She's just filled with water.
Out of it.
Again, a valuable lesson we learned: she doesn't sink. So yeah, that's why the training.
So paddles up. Paddles up. Keep rolling. Come on.
Keep somebody paddling, and somebody's going to be bumping. Training again is to know what you have of your equipment in your vessel. You got to make sure everybody knows how to use it. And so to do it, you make the new people bail out water.
Keep paddling, you guys. Keep paddling.
You can't simulate it until you just do it. And when she takes water on, people better know how to get it out.
I took a little bit of a nap there on the ground for a while and got some rest. It's been a long night.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to paddle for my son. He's been coming out here since he was 7 years old.
I feel really proud right now and just ready to get in the Tomol and start pulling hard.
First crossing, so we were actually by the arch. And as we go in between the two islands, from Anacapa over to Santa Cruz, we had some problems getting across that potato patch, the confluence of waters coming across. We actually started taking in water quite a bit. And at that point, we were paddling with 5 paddlers. First thing we did is remove the biggest paddler out, when she was like 250, and you're out of there. Boat rose up a bit. She started to loosen up. Then we threw out sandbags. We had to throw probably about 8 sandbags out. Rose up a little bit more. She's still taking on water. Lessons learned the hard way. Oh, God.
Every pool is a prayer. We do that, and that's why it's so important. A lot of us have lost our roots. And what we do today is to kind of remind people where we're at. Kind of saying that, you know what, don't forget the past.
We have our legends of creation, and the islands, the Channel Islands, were where we originally started.
One splash, one paddle.
Legends have it, we occupied the mainland here through the use of the Rainbow Bridge. And that story tells us our relationship, our symbiotic relationship with the ocean. Our creator made sure that in case anything happened as we crossed from the islands to the mainland, if we fell off as we looked down, that we wouldn't perish. We'd simply evolve. And thus we'd become very close to the eloquoi, the dolphin.
It's a huge thing for me because I've never been there. Nobody in my family, in my immediate family, especially from the Chumash side, nobody's ever been there that I know of, have never spoke of it. So it's gonna be a powerful spiritual experience.
There's probably 300 people on the beach itself. You're seeing sage smoking, you're seeing songs and cheers, and you're actually crying because you're part of it. You actually feel that.
The Tomol is a powerful symbol of revitalization. It brings us all together.
I look forward to approaching Limu and being able to carry the Tomol up that rocky beach shore as a crew. It's so much more than what I thought it would be, more than I could ever imagine, more than I was prepared for.
It helps us teach our kids about the ocean, our connection to the ocean, our connection to the islands.
Life-changing. Wasn't what I expected, but it was everything that I needed.
This is the most family I've ever had. I'm really grateful. Empty on the inside. It's being filled.
I only paddle as hard as I do because I want him to know how much he means to me and how much he's taught me too. And I hope it shows.
This journey's been done for a long time. There's no deviation from it. It's been going on for a long time, and that's the only way I can express that. Because I wasn't the first one, I'm just following footsteps. I'm just fortunate to be able to tell you this is how these footsteps go.